Hello everyone. Today I wanted to make a really quick rerolling guide for Action Taimanin. I have been playing this game since release and it's been out for a couple of weeks now. In the latest patch there was a change for the tutorial gacha system. So I thought that due to this change the existing guides are pretty much outdated. So I thought it was worth tackling this again and maybe do them in a little bit more concise manner. So let's get to it. So here the game is just gonna open with the story, which I'm just gonna skip. I just wanna try to do this rerolling as quick as I can. After the tutorial video, you're gonna be able to choose 3 characters, Yukikaze, Asagi, and Sakura. I'm just gonna go with Asagi because it's the one that I picked first and I'm most familiar with. But it doesn't matter really who you pick. They have different play styles, and along the road you're probably gonna get the rest of the characters and all the other extra characters. So it's just a matter of preference at the end of the day. So let's just try to do this as quick as we can. That's gonna be the tutorial hub. We're gonna be shown we're gonna be asked actually to clear 3 missions, I believe, before we can do the tutorial gacha. So now the first boss. Trying to get through this as quick as we can. Cool. So that's 1 mission down. And now we're just gonna be walk through assigning our first supporter, I believe. And they're gonna ask us to upgrade using auto select. Now back to the second mission. So once again, let's just try to get through this as quick as we can. Man, it's really boring to play through the game without skills. So now we're gonna be equipping our first skill, I believe. Or buying first skill and then equipping it. Okay. I think that's about. Oh no, never mind. Okay. Alright, I think this should be the end of the tutorial. Alright, now we're being taken to the gacha screen, and this is going to be a certified UR roll. As you can see, I'm gonna roll this, and I'm probably gonna get a UR supporter or weapon, which is the highest rarity in this game. So as you can see, this was a weapon due to that icon there. Okay. Mailbox, okay. So looking at my time, this was roughly 7 minutes, and now we're greeted by the regular screen. So it basically takes 7 minutes to reroll this game, which is rather short, and you can reset, and I'll show how to reset at the end of the video, which is also easy to do. So what's the change that I was alluding to earlier? This premium gacha here, before that was just a free gacha that you got, and most of the people on release were re-rolling these 10 tickets here. That actually I'm really surprised that they're still giving this pre-registration rewards almost 2 months into the game, but hey, I mean, it's something. So this was kind of like where most people were doing their re-rolling early on. However, after the latest patch here, your first pull from the regular premium gacha is going to be a guaranteed UR. The chances for UR are 3%, so if this is guaranteed, that means that you're actually having a similar pull to the UR support and weapon pool, which is actually 5% for each element right now. If you were kind of on the fence in this game, I actually recommend checking it out right now. Because the support, you actually have 5 supporters at the moment, but the pool is actually growing for the weapons. I think the supporter pool is growing as well, but it's not growing as fast as the weapons. For example, the pool that I had earlier was this weapon called Agnus Dei, which is for this character called Emily Simmons, and Emily was actually released 3 days ago, which means that this pool, this UR guaranteed pool, is going to get more and more diluted as more supporters and characters get released. As for my personal opinion on what you should be aiming for, the user, let me just dig up the name, I believe his name is called Say on the Discord. He made a tier list for the different supporters, one for PvE that you can see over here. And from that PvE tier list, I believe that the first 2 characters that you see on S tier are actually part of this pool. For PvP, actually only one of the characters from this pool is over there. But they have their different uses. So personally, I think going for a supporter is a much better choice than going for a weapon, unless you're really dead set on playing a character. Why? Mostly because the supporters can be used. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just gonna try to see if my controller is. It's not seemingly not working again. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So the supporters actually, as you probably saw really briefly in the tutorial, they can be used by all characters. So that means that, for example, if I pull Amane, I can assign Amane to any character, and any character will be able to use her abilities here. However, the weapon, they're restricted to the characters that you chose. So, for my personal opinion, I think you should be gunning for probably like the best PvP support from the regular pool, which is Amane, because not really because of her passive skill, but because of her active skill. in which he actually deals area damage whenever you get hit, and the third hit actually knocks back enemies. So against other people in the arena, this is actually a really valuable skill, and it has its uses in PvE as well. Kaoru, she increases crits for all characters, so her passive is already pretty amazing, but her active skill is actually a really big AoE skill which stuns, and if their enemies remain stunned, they get even more damage. So this is actually a supporter that I luckily pulled on release, and as soon as I maxed her, I pretty much like had a really easy ride for the rest of the game. There are other weapons that I guess I can just mention briefly, because as I said, you will get to pick 3 characters. So if you're bent on, let's say, playing Asagi, Naraku is a pretty decent pick for PvE, and then Yami Koimaru is good for PvP. This is actually kind of like I wouldn't say like a stock, but it's like a standard passive and active skill that you'll see across many characters. For example, for Sakura, where is their weapon? Garokiba. Garokiba has pretty much the same description, but actually Asagi has a skill that lets her make use of Naraku a little bit better for PvE, so I guess for her Naraku or Yami Koimaru is better. For Sakura, maybe Garokiba. For Yukikaze, Greek Fire, I guess Greek Fire is pretty much the better weapon for her, because it pretty much deletes super armor for enemies. And I guess the last thing to mention is that for the characters in this game, you can actually acquire them not really by RNG, but you can just buy them with gems. So the starting characters are all going to go for 800 gems. The characters, or maybe we can call them premium characters, are going to be added by 1000 gems. So I guess that my recommendation would be to go for good supporters, really strong supporters. Kaoru, Amane, or even Major. I guess I didn't discuss Major, but I'll touch on her really briefly. So yeah, Major is a great, because on some of the early missions you're gonna be fighting a lot of machine type enemies, so you get a bit of a defense boost against them. And her skill is a really big damage chunk to a single enemy, which makes her really strong in PvP. I guess these 3 are like the ones that I would suggest you to grab early on. The other 2 supporters kind of pale in comparison, and go for a weapon just in case you're really dead set on playing one particular character. And now to finish the video, if you're not really pleased with whatever pull you got on the gacha, you can just go on settings. Sorry, not on settings, it was on link account. And then from there you can just reset the game, confirm, and you're gonna be back to the main menu. So I hope that this video was useful, and for those of you who are familiar with my content, I tend to not cover gacha games, but if you would like to see more of this or any other type of game content, just let me know in the comments, and thank you all for watching.